We got a beautiful weather here today. My name is Marco Sander. I'm a German psychologist, and I would like to introduce to you my model of coaching. So we're basically dividing coaching skills into 3 levels. So you can check where am I at and what is the next level that I want to develop to. It's more a descriptive model which shows you, okay, where am I at and how can I improve. Be aware this model is highly abstract, but also be aware that the biggest wisdom lies within the abstraction, because the abstract quotes, the abstract models are those that you can apply to so many things if you can deduce properly. We're just getting started. We're basically using the metaphor of 3-dimensional thinking. So there's a 1D coach, a 2D coach, and a 3D coach. A 1D coach is thinking highly linear. There's just one dimension, right? And he's basically the dogmatic lover of the grow model. And he even didn't understand the grow model properly. And here it is just about checking where's the reality of the client. So where is he at right now? What is status quo? And where does he want to go? All right. And what is the most direct way? And I'm just asking, what kind of options do we have? This option, this option, this option. And what are you now actually willing to do? You know, the grow model, if you understand it properly, it's just a coaching model, which you can also look up on my YouTube channel, is actually much smarter about this. But if you're highly dogmatic and you don't really get it, you're just thinking, this is where I'm at right now, this is where I want to go, or your client, and we just directly go there. Well, I can tell you have to change a habit, so let's just do it this way. That's it. Those are the other options, but this is the fastest option. And of course, this can work sometimes, but he's not taking a lot of things into account. And then he's wondering, why is it not working? Why does he not have enough willpower? What is going wrong here? And this can lead to frustration quite quickly also for the client, because then he maybe thinks, oh, maybe I'm just not supposed to do that. Maybe I'm just not good enough. But that's often not the case, because if you're a 2D coach, a 2-dimensional coach, there's a lot of change happening. In fact, there are 2 dimensions which you now take into account, but basically 2 parts come into your life. And this is basically, let's make the metaphor with birds. Can you hear the birds? They have more cones in their eyes, so they're able to see a higher spectrum of colors. They're actually, in fact, able to see ultraviolet, so they can see the berries quicker. They have that. We don't see that. We just don't see it. And that's the same with the 1D coach. He can't see what the 2D coach is seeing. And that's why he's wondering, what is going wrong here? I took everything into account. No, he didn't, but he's just not able to see that. But if you're a 2D coach, you're higher evolved. You see beyond the plate, beyond the horizon. So what is happening here is, of course, again, the 2D coach can identify where is the client at right now and where does he want to go. All right. But what the 2D coach is taking into account is that the past and the future is not a linear thing. There's actually practical things that happened in the past. So the 2D coach is taking the past into account. Maybe the past was like that, and that's where it becomes very abstract. And what is the future? What is the future after the goal? Where does he want to go? That's also not straight. Maybe he wants to continue like that, if you like have a quick look in the future. Now, psychotherapists are in fact very good at staying here in the past. Nowadays, of course, not everybody anymore, but some psychotherapists, they really just stay in the past, dig around there for months. But they sometimes forget to stay in the present and in the future be more solution focused. But we are here having a more integral approach. We see the past is valuable. So let's check what happened in the past. What kind of resources does the client have? What skills we maybe can use better And this is what the 1D coach is not taking so much into account. Maybe a little bit, but not properly. He maybe understands it rationally, but is not embodying it fully and sees, okay, there's not a straight line. And now the 2D coach is taking this line with him, because he knows if I do the same thing as the 1D coach did, this here is not practical. This is a really sharp thing. You have to change your behavior quickly. This is probably not working. So I'm not the 2D coach. I'm not only pacing, taking the energy with and then move it in the right direction, but maybe even using resources. Maybe this, yes, seems like the straightest way, but maybe let's go not this so much straight away because it's better. We can use some more skills here and then go in the right direction at some point. And then also in the future, think very much ahead. Okay, this is the goal, but where does he want to go in the long run? Maybe we're not going here because those are skills we don't need in the future. Maybe we go from another direction, which looks like it's more far, right? It's a more far path, but it's the better path for the client, taking the past into account, but also the very future, the long-term vision. This is highly important. Also, this is just an example in a company. If you tell somebody your client is maybe responsible for, this is the goal, automate the process. So he's maybe thinking, maybe even just subconsciously, for what do people need me after that goal? Maybe they just fire me. So he's kind of resistant to reach this goal because he doesn't really know the vision, what is coming next. And that's why he's not so much motivated. But here we take the future into account. What is next? Maybe we should go more this direction, take those skills with us, because afterwards there are other challenges waiting for us, where we can use the prior skills we learned better, or they're more compatible, right? Also, what you can learn here with the client together, that yes, there's this goal, but there's also something after. It's always something after the goal, and it's not the thing that you reach the goal and then it's gone, you're done and then you're happy. There's always something next, and the happiness more lies in the now. All things that you can deduce right from here. So 2D is really taking the past into account, but also then working highly solution-oriented and takes the very future into account. It's tricky. A lot of people just take the past, maybe just the future. So it might be the case that you just integrated 2D coaching halfway. Here you know which to integrate better. It's always about this integral thinking, you know? And also from client to client, it might be more wise to go a little bit more here into depth or there. But the 3D coaching is helping you to know when is the right moment to do what. So you might probably, you're wondering, now what is the 3D coaching? Let's say this is the bird perspective. So we get 1D, 2D, and the 3D is basically coming out of here, 3D. Again, the coach, of course, identifies what is the present moment, what is the status quo, and what is the goal. Of course, again, taking the past into account and also taking the future into account. And yes, if you're the 2D coach, it seems right to go this way. But the third dimension, and that's why it will look like a map, and there are hills within the map. So let's say here is a huge hill because this is also the goal where we want to go. And maybe here is a hill too, and there. The rest is maybe more flat. And with hills and knowing this map and the third dimension, I mean basically experience. So the coach is like a guide, guiding you through a valley. And he went there quite often. He took so many clients to the other side. So he knows how the map looks like. He knows where are the pitfalls. Maybe here's like a huge pitfall. He knows, he knows that here's a hill, and he knows that it might be smarter to first go up on this hill, metaphorically, to see how we can get to the goal. Also the client sees it, and maybe even why we should go there. It's like another thing which looks like more far away. Why do we go more far away from the goal? But it's counterintuitive. But if you know the path, if you know people fail more often if they go this path, it might be smarter to coach somebody in this direction and go like that, because you have the experience. And this is what you really, really need on the long run, and what you will gain on the long run. And this is what is making you world class, by mastering a skill over years, getting better, learning, taking feedback into account, and really practice deliberately. Of course, you're still taking past and future into account. This is just something that adds up here, right? This is the model. I know it's quite abstract, and you will understand it better and better if you keep coaching and master that skill. And you can also understand where you may be at, what is the thing that you want to move towards. It's more a descriptive model, which just really helps you to see what do I want to develop more. This is more the what and the how and the why questions. Those are questions you got to get somewhere else. Get some coaching about coaching. Get some training. Get some experience. Talk with people who are more experienced than you are, and learn and become a 3D coach.
I give in to the lesser fight. My body aches to be satisfied. My weakness comes and goes.